Happy Think That Thursday. I am super excited to have you here today. We are chatting about and updating really on all the things that I've had going on, and then some upcoming things. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you share the live. Get anybody in here that you think needs to see this. Um, we are talking about our confidence, the things that are going on, the things you may be feeling, and like I said, an update, a real update on what's happening because there is so much happening. Alrighty, thank you for being here. Hi. If you are new here, welcome. And regardless, honestly, today I realized that it's been a long time since I've done something like an introduction. And there are some new places where there's some new faces, and there's places where people haven't seen me in a while. So I just want to make sure that we are chatting. Hi. So as always, I am Seisha. I go live every Thursday. It is Thick Thigh Thursday. If you have questions about yoga, about confidence, about the way you're understanding meditation, mindfulness, any of those things, I absolutely am here to support you in this space. And this is just kind of a preview of what happens in my live coaching sessions and when you work with me. But like I said, today we're just chatting. So I wanted to start with like I said, a bit of an update. So there's been, and then some conversations, some things I've been thinking. So there's been an uptick. Thank you so much for sharing. There's been an uptick in responses for and like in following on my Facebook page. And I was like, oh, like I felt like a lot of people just stopped doing that. So if your mom, if your aunt, if your grandma is on Facebook, tell them to follow me. Tell them that this is the place to be, because that's where I've been killing the game recently. As far as Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, as always, I am here. I love to be here to chat with you guys. But like I said, it's for some people it's new. For some people, you don't know what we're doing here or what conversation we are having. But I wanted to let you know, about the things that I have going on. And honestly, like things have been so crazy. Like they've been up and down. I have been very active and very invested in things happening in my business since we came back from Bali. And I just want to really expand on that a little bit more. And about what's been happening. So first thing is first, the biggest thing that I have going on, thank you so much. The biggest thing that I have going on is my bathing suit line. So my bathing suit line has been out for a whole month now. I have had orders that I didn't anticipate, some really big ones, some just small ones for support. And either way, I am super appreciative. So remember, there are men's and women's items in this line. If you are a couple and you're looking for your matching set, it's the perfect place to look. If you, and it doesn't matter who is in that couple, or what size you are, because it goes all the way from size 2 extra small to 6 extra large. That I wanted to be able to offer. I wanted to be able to offer that space to say, you can find the thing that fits you here. And I'm so glad to be able to give it to you, to create it, to be the source for you to be able to find it. I was inspired by the people commenting on just me doing yoga in my bathing suit on the beach. I know that this is not necessarily a common view. When we see yoga, we see thin white women. Look up #yoga. This isn't me being judgmental. This is a fact, right? And then the other side of it is we see like all this like sexualized and just completely removed from the yogic principles type of videos and information and stuff. I can't stand it. And so on purpose, I created something that goes outside of that goes against it. I do yoga in my bathing suit, like I said, all the time. And I want to be able to create space and have that space for you to to enjoy it, to try and find the cut that makes sense for you, find the style, try different things out. The straps for the string bathing suit are like super duper long, so that if you wanted to try something different or interesting with those strings, you can do it. You can do it on the top, on the bottom. I have try on videos, I have bathing suit hack videos. I believe in doing it. I believe in having the information, creating it, sharing it, and putting it out there. So again, if you had no idea about my bathing suit line, my last handful of videos, you can absolutely find out way more. But there's a try on video on YouTube, like full length try on. You can skip through it and find the style and cut that you were looking for and you're interested in. And you can and remember, all the styles come in all the cuts, like all the designs come in all the styles. So there's so much. If you see something that catches your eye, it will come in a way that you like. So it's worth checking out. You would be supporting my business and me, and like for some people that means hell no, but I'm hoping for you that means absolutely yes. um Other than that, I have launched the new set of retreats. We have domestic retreats out here in Orlando. So if you are looking for a domestic retreat where you don't have to take more than a day or two off of work, where the travel is easy and affordable, and you want to step away, there are so many ways that people have described this after booking. So what happens when you book is we do a meeting, we do a one-on-one meeting, we just do a quick 15-minute session, but we're just discussing what you think you have questions about, what you're concerned about, what would be helpful for you to learn more about. And I love making these connections. I love starting in this space, talking to the women that have booked, talking to the people, because really that's it, right? When people book for the couples retreat, it's always the wife or the girlfriend that shows up. And when it's women's retreat, obviously, it's a woman that comes. And so we meet for this very simple, light 15-minute session. Let's have a conversation. What questions do you have? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are you excited about? What made you book? And I love asking that question because I feel like people just kind of share with me what connected them with me, what connected them to this space, what drew them in, which is why it's so important for you to share. Hi, great. Hi, Victoria. I just started watching your YouTube videos to get back into practice. I love it. I hope you enjoy the YouTube videos. I have long ones, I have short ones. Those of you who are like, wait, you have a YouTube channel? I sure do. It is also Thick Thigh Yoga. Okay. So no losing me. It's Thick Thigh Yoga absolutely everywhere. ThickThighYoga.com, Thick Thigh Yoga on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, on Threads. I got all of them. Okay. And if you get a request or a weird message from a different page, that's not me. I didn't do that. I don't read anything. I'm not sending you links for readings. I'm not asking you for money. If you ask for a link, I will send you a link. I might send a link for a bathing suit. I might send a link for sessions, for classes if you ask me those questions, but I'm not sending you a link telling you to get a reading from me. I ain't never read nothing. And she has modifications for you if you need them. Been following for a few years. Yes. Thank you, Victoria. And thank you for being here for so long, right? So that's exactly what I do. I try to make yoga accessible and useful and just make it make sense for your body. The instructions that we hear sometimes just don't make sense for our bodies. It doesn't look the same in my body as it does in yours. It doesn't look the same in a skinny body as it does in mine. That's okay. I am allowed to make those changes and to give you the modifications because the alignment is there, right? Like when I got my 100-hour training, I was looking to learn more, and I didn't see resources that would help me. So made them. That's really it. I decided to make them. That's where we are. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's what I create. And I think the hardest thing, so I picked up some new clients recently. Since I've been back, I opened up my schedule back up, and a couple people really jumped in those spots. So if you were looking, I do have one of my old students told me that, I think. One of my old students told me exactly that. Anyway, right. So if you are looking to learn, looking to try new things, looking to get into yoga, but you feel like none of those things actually fit you, actually work for you, this is where you come to find the resources for someone who does, right? And someone that can speak to your body the way it works, the way it makes sense. And that's why I love one-on-one sessions. But that is also why when we start with one-on-one sessions and coaching, it can be a little difficult, right? People, and I'll say this, the people that want to start. If you're questioning it, if you're not sure, check out my YouTube page. If you're looking and you're like, I want to see what her classes are like, I have a free trial on my website to try out the Thybrary, which is my online library of classes. I have my recordings. There's over 50 hours of classes in there. So if you like the way I teach on YouTube, but you're like, I just want more, I need more, I want to learn more, I want to do it, and I want to do this at 6 a.m., and I want to do this, and I want to try it out. You can try the flexibility classes and you can line it up and you can work on splits and hips and lizard and frog and whatever it is. You can make those choices for yourself. We can do a session. I have a yoga tracker on there that you can use. That's free with your membership. And I have a first month free trial for the Thybrary. That was what I was saying. The code is literally on the page. So the code is subscribe, but the code is on the page. So if you are looking to try it and you're just not sure, well, here's free, right? So again, those excuses, when people make excuses and it's like, oh, but I don't know about this, I don't know about that. I am giving you the opportunity to try. I'm handing it to you. So you can take it or not. You can take it out of my hands or not. That is totally up to you. And I'm not forcing it to you. I'm not throwing it at you. I'm not shoving it down your throat. This is a clean, free option for you to try it out for a month. Give it a shot. Check out the page. Check out the amenities. Check out the bonuses and things like that. See if you like it. If you feel like it's working for you, right? And everybody that is a member gets special rates for my classes, for my sessions, and things like that. I also teach live every Saturday. So if you feel like, oh, I don't know, the video part is not really landing for me, I need to do it live. I teach live on Zoom every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, which I'll be honest, my East Coast clients have stepped their game up. We might be shifting to 9 a.m. It's kind of we gotta find a consensus. But either way, Saturday morning, right? If enough West Coast people pop up and they're like, no, 6 a.m. is too early, then I'll keep it at 7. But I want to be able to provide what makes the most sense as far as support and availability, because why waste anybody's time, including my own? So yeah, like I said, if you're looking for excuses, I mean, you could go somewhere else. Just tell them that I'm awesome and they should look at me. But you can go somewhere else. You can do that, and you can take your excuses. That's absolutely fine. But if you're looking to make changes, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to find more flexibility, find more strength in your body, if you feel like I've tried all the other things but nothing has ever quite worked for me, that's because you need some real guidance in a way that makes sense for you, your body, your mindset, all of those things. That's just what that means. I'm just telling you information. You get to do with it what you want. I would love for you to bring it to thickthighyoga.com. Get yourself book yourself some sessions. Let's learn, or join the Thybrary. Like I said, it is a free first month. You get to try it out. Try out the classes, try out the tracker, download whatever the free gift is for the month. Because yes, the members get a free gift every month. Thank you so much. Right? This is what I offer. I always want to offer value and things that make sense. Because we are anti-burnout over here, right? Like, this is the space where a lot of women come to me, and people come to me once they're like tired. They're tired in their body. They're like, oh my God, my body, I can't do this anymore. I need flexibility. I need strength. I need to not be exhausted. I need peace. I need mindfulness. I need this. I need that. I promise you 2 things. 1, we can figure it out. I'm sure we can figure it out. Let's have the conversation. Let's make it happen. Book the session, book the retreat, book the thing. And maybe it's book a consultation, right? Book the consultation, have the conversation. What questions do you have? Let's figure it out. Anytime anybody books a consultation with me, that consultation fee rolls into whatever you buy, right? So if you pay for the consultation and then you end up not getting anything, you got my time, you got my direct one-on-one input time. That's what you paid for, right? And if from that consultation you say, all right, you know what, I think the retreat is for me, then the fee that you paid for that consultation time is going to roll into your retreat. So I take that right back out. It might as well be free. It's just, I don't let people waste my time. I used to have non-paid consultations. I don't do that anymore because people will waste my time. Okay. But That's the other thing. You know when you're working with me, you know when you come to me, you know when you come to my retreat, you know when you are coming to this space, you are getting value for your time. Because again, who wants to waste time? Not me, not you, but people with excuses. And once you get to the booking place, you're not a person with an excuse. You're just not, right? Like if you're like, no, well, I don't know, I'm just I'm this, I am that. I am this person. I'm doing it. Awesome. Question: is yoga supposed to hurt every time you do it? I try to keep up with it, but it's painful. So, question: do you mean that it is painful while you are doing it, or do you mean that you are sore and whatever after? Because if yoga hurts you, I won't say like I won't say it should hurt. It should not hurt. There, like I know when people like lift, they pump and they go until it hurts, and that some people are really looking for that. Not in yoga. Um, and I've heard some really horror stories, some horrible horror stories, some really scary horror stories where yoga teachers were like really forcing people into positions and pushing them, which I will say people definitely do to themselves. People will push themselves too far because it doesn't look like the picture, doesn't look like the video, doesn't look like this, doesn't look like that. If at the beginning of this class you were not able to just get into a split, why do you think 35 minutes later you should be? So if you're pushing yourself too far, then no, it's you and it's those choices. So pull back. If it is hurting after and the soreness, that's totally normal. You need to enforce some regularity in order to get over that soreness or to for that soreness to not be as much of a problem. Because yeah, if every time you do it, it's the first time in a month, that same part is gonna hurt. That just makes sense, right? So if that's what you're trying to avoid, then yeah, regularity. So while doing it, when I try to push, stretch past the tension, it gets painful. Yep, that's exactly what I said, right? Just stop trying to do that. You don't need to do that. Stressing yourself is not yoga. Once you started to stress yourself out about it, you're no longer doing yoga. Reel it in. Um, that is also why I say starting with a teacher. When we are working just on our own and we're looking at a video, some of the things may make sense. Some of the things may like, oh, okay, I know what to do. This sounds right or whatever. Um, and then some of the stuff is confusing. You don't know what to do. How were you supposed to know what to do if you didn't go to a teacher? May I ask? I say with love. So I want you to drop it down in the comments. Is that you, right? Like, this is you. You push yourself too far, right? Like raise your hand. That's me. That's me, right? I push myself too far. I get hurt. It is uncomfortable, or I just feel like I don't know what to do, right? You can put that. That's still you. Put that down in the chat in the comments because I really like. I want to know if it's just happening more, right? Why? You don't need to push yourself and you don't necessarily know what to do. So come to a teacher, get a session. I'm not asking you to book $5,000 worth of sessions for 10 years or whatever. Get a package of sessions, learn how it works for your body, get some real one-on-one attention with the language, and then use that to help you with classes, help you with the online videos, help you. And honestly, you can spread them out, you can do what you want. We can figure out how to make that work. And it doesn't have to be with me. I, of course, would love to teach you, but it does not have to be with me, right? There are tons of amazing yoga teachers. There's always people to find. If you're located somewhere and you want somebody in person, feel free to message me. I'll let you know who I know in that area. At this point of the online world, I know somebody on all the corners of the earth. So you let me know what you want, who you're looking for, where you are. I can probably hook you up. Even if it's not me, but I'm virtual. I teach everywhere. So, or if you're in Florida, we could get it together. And if you're looking again for in person, I have a couple beginners coming. I have people who are starting their yoga journey with the yoga retreat. And that is important. That is important for you guys to know. Like, we have this availability. We have this as an offer. You can come. You can get started. That's one thing that I always want to offer. All of my classes, all of my sessions, all of my retreats are beginner friendly. I have attended retreats that have stated they were beginner friendly, and I did not believe that at all after attending it. I'm a certified yoga teacher. I know what to do. I am fearful for people's bodies when they don't know what to do. So I don't do that to them. And I get nervous when other teachers do. So I was trying not to be that person. That's just who I am as a teacher, as an educator. And that's, like, I was a teacher for 9 years. I was a classroom teacher for 9 years. I really do care about education and learning and the ability and, like, again, the usefulness. We don't need to be doing it or wasting our time if it's not useful. And like I said, with that, the women's retreat is halfway sold out now. So if you were looking for a spot, make sure you get it quick. I am only keeping on the specials for your special yoga retreat edition bathing suit until June 15th, which is 9 more days. So if you want your spot and you want that bonus, make sure that you get it. And I have payment plans. I always have payment plans. I want this to be accessible for you. If you feel like travel is a lot, it is expensive, and it seems to like take you out. I know I run international retreats. Bali might not have been reasonable to take over a week off of work to travel that far. Great. Come to Orlando. Take Friday off. Get here. And if that's not enough, then this isn't for you. And that's okay. There's going to be something else that's for you. But if it seems reasonable, great. So some of the reasons that people have said that they want to go and gathered from that conversation was like the concept of you get a girls trip or you get a couples trip or you get that vacation without having to book anything or plan anything or do anything other than get here, right? You can take your hands off and you can let it be. And this is the space. This is a space to unwind. This is a space to retreat. Like you get a girls trip and you don't even have to supply the girls. It is amazing the connections that have happened. My girls from week 2 of Bali are getting together this weekend coming in New York. I am so excited, like, to be able to create a kind of pod like that. It makes me super proud of myself. And the energy is real. This happens at every retreat. This happens all the time. We find people that are amazing and we have great energy and great connections. And it's just a space. Like, I know we talk a lot about like being older and not having the ability to make those connections and gain friendships and things like that. Like I said, the girls from Bali are getting together in New York. It is a real thing. It is a real connection that is happening. It is a thing that has carried over and the conversations are happening. And how valuable is it to think like I can add people into my life that are like good quality people that like to do the things that I do that will get together with me? Yes, you can. And again, if it's not my retreat, somebody else's retreat, but I can't guarantee their energy. I can only guarantee mine. Along with that though, let you in on a special secret. So I don't know if you follow my podcast at all. If anybody does drop my podcast, please drop a heart down there or let me know if you've been listening, and especially if you've got a like favorite episode that you've heard. But my podcast, Black on the Mat, it comes out every Thursday. There was a new episode released today. Where we talk about yoga therapy and just learning other things about yoga that Black people don't necessarily hear or talk about. So I want to be able to take up that space, create that space, and have those conversations. My co-host, Danielle Washington, is a yoga therapist. She is in her process of her final hours, I can't remember the name of the hours, but the practice hours, like where she's actually trying it out. So she's done all her training. And if you're looking for a yoga therapist, you should connect with her. Again, find us on Black on the Mat. If you go to my links, it's all in there because I like to stay organized for you guys. And what to tell you about Black on the Mat. So we are finishing up on season 1. And if you've been able to hear it, great. If you haven't been able to hear it, that's all right. It's great time to pick up now. We are finishing season 1, like I said. And we have some things, we're closing out for Juneteenth, right? So Juneteenth is a Wednesday. The 20th will be our last episode for season 1. So just make sure you're there. Make sure you listen. Make sure you've got your notifications on. We are live. We are on YouTube. So you can get your video fix. If you're a person that likes to watch our faces while we talk, you can do that. But if you're a podcast listener, it is available on all your podcast listening places. So I would love to get your feedback. I would love to hear more from you. I would love to have more of those conversations. So if you are a person that's like, I don't know how to get into yoga, I have questions, I have thoughts, I've been thinking about it a lot, I'm an overthinker and I need people to talk it out for me, this is the perfect place for you. This is exactly where you need to be. You need to be listening to the episodes, listening to your podcast episodes from us that are specifically discussing the ways that we can get into yoga, where we can get on the mat. The imposter syndrome you may be facing was one of the episodes that we did recently. Like I said, we've done yoga therapy, we've done yoga and the way it affects your relationships with people. We have these conversations. Yoga, literally getting started. What are cheap or free ways to get started doing yoga? The benefits and pitfalls of online yoga. We've talked about so many valuable things. And so to have this space as a resource to go back to that is on YouTube and is searchable is Black on the Mat. If you come to Thick Thigh Yoga, you should be able to find some connection there. Again, in my links, it's definitely there. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're like, I'm just like I said, if you're in your head about doing yoga for whatever reason, this podcast is a great space for you to just stop and listen and hear what our perspectives are like, the things that we've been through, the conversations we've had. We've had guys on, other Black yoga teachers. If you're interested in YTT, we just did an episode last week about YTT and doing your yoga teacher training and what questions and thoughts and things to take into account there. There's so much value and so much information because, again, who wants to waste their damn time? Not me. So I try to create that for you. I try to have that for you. I want that to be there for you. As always, if you're looking for journal prompts and like more reflective spaces, you can always find journal prompts in my monthly newsletter. Did you know I have a newsletter? You can be on that mailing list. You can get the mailing list. You can get the newsletter, right to your inbox. If you join the newsletter mailing list, go to my website. Again, thickthighyoga.com. I don't hide me whatsoever. Okay? thickthighyoga.com. And you can find it there. Like I said, my newsletter, it gives a little bit of insight on a new topic for every month, and then a little bit of conversation, and then some journal prompts, and honestly, some next steps. If you're like, I don't know where to start, great. This is where you start. This is, again, some information. There's links in there also to my podcast. So if you find one, you can find it all. All of it is thickthighyoga.com. Bree, I've been following you for a while. I just love your videos. I've learned so much. Thank you, Bree. Thank you for being here. I love people that have been here for a long time. You should be at the retreat. Come on to the retreat. I'd love to have you. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Everybody's being really sweet on TikTok. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. And remember, so these are things I have offerings for everybody, right? And that is why I wanted to take a minute and just kind of, like I said, reintroduce myself. I am Seisha. I am here to bring you the yoga in the way that makes sense to your body. Some collaborations that we have coming up. My friend Precious was on last weekend. So if you didn't see that, check that out on Instagram. The replay is there. She is from Texas, and you guys know I live in Florida. Well, she lives in Texas now. I live in Florida now. Neither one of us are from any one of these places, but this is where we are. And we are going to be collaborating. She has a new program going on, and I'm excited about that. So if you're a leader and you're looking for more, you can definitely check her out. Go on, like I said, go on my Instagram. And thank you. You're ditto. You're awesome. Plus, I shared Clyde's page with a male friend. Perfect, right? So I love like us being able to share the alternate sides of this, right? Like there's a space where larger bodies like mine have not been able to flourish in their femininity. Like we always get sexualized. We always get abused or made fun of for being fat and big backs and all of that stuff, versus like our strength and our skill and the things that we can do, right? They've been ignored and put away for so long. And then the same thing with guys. Guys don't have their space in yoga in the same way that women do. It is definitely a female dominated space, where you need more representation, where we need in general more representation of like what it looks like to carry out a relationship that is mindful, what it looks like to practice in your body. If it looks, like I said, it's not going to look the same in my body as it does in somebody else's. It's not going to look the same in their body as it does in mine. We are allowed to have this space. I am here for representation. He is here also for representation and in that space. And like the concept of accessibility. If you don't feel like anybody that looks like you can do it, then why would you assume that it can be done? Right. And so this is the same kind of mindset and thought process that works when we have like little kids and we ask them what they want to be when they grow up, and they're like, I want to work in the bodega, like, because that's all you know, right? you don't want to be a scientist, you don't want to be a doctor, you don't want to nothing, because you don't know, you don't see yourself in those spaces, you don't see yourself represented by that. So this is, again, it's important, right? It's important for you to get into the space and into the mindset of like this being an option for you, and then taking the leap, right? Because that's the theme for this month: taking the leap. Taking the leap is the newsletter theme for the month. Taking that big step, taking the next step in your life. And again, this is why I say, like, the people that come with excuses, I hope that you have a nice soft place to land until you're ready to get rid of those excuses. And then we can talk, right? Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm just not here for the excuses. I can be a soft place to land if you don't want the excuses, if you're just not in that space. But if you're ready to make excuses and get out of the things, then you need to talk to somebody else. I remember I divorced a whole man because he wanted a pity party and I was not with it. So I don't even love you yet. I don't know you. I love you like from here. But my version of love is holding you accountable. So if that's not right for you, that's not right for you. I'm okay with that. I'm letting you know. And like I said, I have a few. That's not true. I have one morning spot left. I forgot. I just rearranged my schedule for new people. So yeah, I have one morning pre-work spot. If you are a person that's looking for a real regimen, you're looking for a real support, getting your one-on-ones, we can do it before work. We can do it early. The reason you don't see those times available on my website is because people are crazy. And somebody that I don't know is going to book a 6 a.m. for their very first session. Because why? No, doesn't make sense. Not me. I don't get it. First session, we got to get to know each other. We have to have a chat, right? So I just don't put those up there for openness. If you're like questioning, well, I don't see it, I don't this, right? You may not see the right time. We can have a consultation. We can find the right time. We can book it. Like I said, I have people before work. I have people that are just after work. I have people before or after my class on Saturday. We make it work, but it has to make sense. And if you're ready to commit to that, to really try, that's exactly what you do. Book the sessions, get yourself on that program. And like I said, the Thybury, we have a free month. You can try it out with code subscribe. Try it out. It's there. I'm not hiding it from you. Go to thickthighyoga.com if you're looking for classes. All that information is there and available readily. On purpose. I want to work with you. If you were questioning, well, she's not gonna. I am. But I do want to work with you. I don't want to waste time. I've got plenty of stuff to do. You've got plenty of stuff to do. We don't need to waste any time. We can work together or not. With that being said, on a personal note, I myself, so we talk about like how these like imposter syndrome gets us, and the ways that like life kind of gets us over and frustrated and in a space that we lack our motion and our creativity and our movement on the thing. So I am saying that I'm going to be more active about going live and doing more yoga online, because I've had a lot of conversations recently, and I feel like I do this my content cycles. I cycle between like a little bit more yoga and then a little bit more talking and then a little bit more confidence, right? And so I end up cycling through these things, but I want to be more consistent about going live and doing yoga, which is going to be for my subscribers. I just opened a specific, a broadcast channel on Instagram. And this is what I appreciate about Instagram over TikTok, but I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening, right? So either way, I'm creating a subscription channel on both of them, but you will only get the conversation on Instagram because that's where it's allowed. TikTok doesn't create that for you. But I do want to have more conversation in the comments. I do want to have more participation because that's been the biggest thing and that's been my biggest focus. And this is where we're reeling it in, right? So community has been my biggest focus since the beginning of the year. We're halfway through the year now, just about, right? We're at the halfway point almost, right? It's June. And I have been very intentional about making connections and reaching out to people and talking to people and talking to women in wellness, talking to people of color, talking to people in yoga spaces, talking to event and retreat leaders and things like that. Like I've been very intentional about making those connections, and the retreats really like just made my heart so happy. I want to be able to create a little bit more of that space here and at home and in a way that feels very accessible. Maybe if you weren't able to go to Bali. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop creating these spaces because I love traveling the world and taking heaps of beautiful women across the country and the world and all through the lands. That is, I'm living the dream, right? So that's not going to stop. But I do want to be able to create more space here. I want there to be more active conversations and I want it to feel safe. I want it to feel protected. I want it to feel like this is a smart move, a place for you to go. So that content will be coming very soon. I am organizing, I am creating, I want there to be a continuous flow. If you've joined the broadcast channel already, you've been getting my journal prompt updates. There you go. If you've joined the broadcast channel already, you've been getting my journal prompt updates. That's just the start, but I do want to be able to provide more as in what you're looking for. One of the big things that people tell me is consistency. So more consistent videos and lives for my subscribers, right? If you want that consistency and you want that support, find it, get it. I'm offering it. I want to be able to give it to you. I want you to have access to it. And again, if this is a space where you have excuses, then you don't have to be there. The broadcast channel is free. Come on. Again, if you want the excuses, I'll let you out. I'll let you out every time. But I am offering you the information and I want you to take it out of my hand because there's no reason for me to keep holding it by myself. One thing that was a quote from the client spotlight that I just posted, it was a quote from the client, but she said to me that she loves the way that I am able to light fires with and for other people without feeling like my light will be dimmed because I know that it won't. And I love that I'm allowed to have that space. You have an amazing energy. Love the journal prompts. Time to check out the podcast. Yes, I would love to have you on the podcast. I'd love you to listen to it, ask your questions, participate, connect with the other people because we've featured several other yoga teachers. And just again, I would love to be the yoga teacher for you and everybody else and the perfect one to answer all the questions that would be mwah, right? I can't do that. I'm one person. So I love to connect people to other folks and I appreciate it when other people connect people to me. Two of the people that are booked already on the yoga retreat are recommendations directly from somebody who went to Bali, two other people who went to Bali. One of the women that came to Bali is still coming to Orlando. It is a valuable experience. It is a place that you want to be. And so I'm excited to be able to again, continually create and cultivate these spaces. I love that this is what I get to do and I love to share it with you guys. So again, I encourage you to subscribe and to follow and to join the newsletter and read them. Give me your journal prompts. If you submit a journal prompt on my newsletter that can be shared, that you might get a nice tag or a shout out. I would love to be able to do that for you and connect with you in that way. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in to this week's update. Next week, we will be getting together. Make sure you set your reminders always. Thick Thigh Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. If you wanted to play this back, you want some a little bit more, you missed the beginning, whatever it may be, you can head over straight to YouTube. It is there right now. And if you